has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall Coast. On the bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible, hanging out. The bad seed, the broken, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing Travis, some kind of fucking shake it up, should be along with the Tutty and Tater King himself, the founder of the Isle Seed Podcast, the rights holder of the Sheet of Integrity. Cover high this afternoon. Mafia running it with Luke. I am your father. On a thirsty Thursday, the rundown. We got a double shot with Morency from British Columbia this very hour, and then a double shot with Adam Kaplan in the final hour talking NFL. And there is a lot to talk about today with the NFL. I have to tell you, the Rodgers interview makes me sick to my stomach. That's what I want to talk about today. This guy, are you kidding me? What's next? He's going to show us himself waxing surfboards in Malibu. Like, this guy with his, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not, ready to make a decision. I'm in a different phase in my life right now. I won't commit to anything. I don't really want to leave anything off the table. I'm not sure if I've talked to the Steelers. Oh, I didn't like the way the Jets treated me, and I'll play for $10 million. This guy can go to hell. Honestly, this dude, go to hell. Go to hell. I don't even want him on the team. I really don't. I'm not even kidding you. If he goes to the Steelers, I don't even care. If they get him, I don't even care. Because he's such a prima donna, narcissistic dude. I just can't take it. I cannot take this old washed quarterback thinking he's 23 years old still. Like, why, are you kidding me, bro? What are you waiting for? The second coming? He's not even close to making his mind up of what he wants to do. Retire. That's what you should do. Just retire. Bag it. You were so awful anyway. Just bag it. Don't get me started with this guy. I'm going to say the same thing to Kaplan. Like, this guy, who does he think he is? Honest to Christ, Mike.
Yeah, he did break his silence today, obviously where he always does on the McAfee show. And look, I thought the Steelers stuff, I wouldn't particularly like it if I was you and I was a fan of the Steelers. I wouldn't like that he's like, I checked the place out and I'm not holding anybody hostage and they can move on. They don't need to wait for me.
I've talked to him a bunch of times.
He keeps talking to Tomlin and the lines of communication are open. Like, I wouldn't be cool that if it was my team, I'd be like, same thing. I'd be like, enough with this nonsense. Like, let's just move on.
Just move on.
Like, I got things going on in my personal life that are more important right now, and I don't know what I want to do. And
his girlfriend's more important.
He's got a lot of things happening. He's just got a lot going on, and he's like, he did
go to hell.
He went after the Jets pretty good, though. That's for sure. I flew across country on my own dime, Aaron. You got plenty of money, Aaron. I know it probably costs a lot to fuel the private jet up and fly from California
honestly,
to Florham Park.
You have got to be kidding me. What else? What else did he say about the Jets?
He didn't like, I guess, that he thought he was going there for like a long conversation about the new guys who came in, Glenn and Muji, to run the franchise, and they basically sat him down and were like, "Yeah, we're moving on. We're not keeping you." So
that's what the Steelers should do.
That's what it is. Just move on. It's over. So he didn't like that, apparently, that the Jets, he said, they could have told me that over the phone. Yeah, they could have told you that over the phone.
Now,
you're absolutely right.
Now, how about this one? He said he had a great conversations with Dayball, and he said he's a great football mind, but I mean, that room's already locked and sealed with 3 guys. They've already done those deals. They already have done all those 3 contracts. They're not adding Aaron Rodgers, and the Vikings don't want him either. Like, this guy is absolutely tripping. He's tripping. And you know what? The Steelers just get down to business. Draft a quarterback, start Rudolph, and have a bad year. If that's the case, so be it. But it is what it is. I think they have to stop with this nonsense with this guy and acting like they still have an offer for him. Like, this guy's like taking a leak on him. He's taking a leak on him.
Yeah, I if he were to play, which I'm not too sure about after him talking today, it seems like it would only be in Pittsburgh if he were to play this year.
It sounds like he doesn't want to live in Pittsburgh. He has no idea what he's talking about because he's a snob from California. He grew up in Northern California with all of his snob friends and parents, and now he's a snob in Malibu, and he dates movie stars. Like, this guy is living in another world. This guy couldn't handle Pittsburgh. It's too blue collar for him. And it sounds to me like I heard him. He's like, I wanted to see what it would be like to live in Pittsburgh. That guy couldn't live in Pittsburgh. He couldn't.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, he did spend 15 plus years in Green Bay. So, I mean, if you're going to live there.
But that's Hicksville. That's Hicksville. Right. And he was the star quarterback, number 1. And they gave him all that money, and he had it all. And once they finally got Favre out of there, he had it all. Pittsburgh is so different than Green Bay, it's not even funny. Okay? Pittsburgh is a steel town. It is a blue-collar town. It is a shot in a beer town. It is a hard-working people town. Green Bay is in the middle of effing nowhere. Nobody does anything there. They don't even have a restaurant. Honest to Christ, slow down. Slow down. Don't get me started. It's early. I'm going to have a headache. I'm going to have to get the Tylenol. Mafia, get the tequila and my pills.
We do have a few afternoon games in baseball going on, and one final actually already. A quick afternoon getaway day businessman special at PNC. A long homer by O'Neill Cruz in the first inning, and that was that. That was all they needed. A 1-0 win over the Nationals this afternoon, already in the books. Raise the Jolly Roger over at PNC on a Thursday afternoon. The Diamondbacks have a 6-4 lead in Miami over the Marlins. Josh Naylor homered for the 3rd game in a row. All 3 down there in Miami, so he's getting hot. Mariners are up 5-3 now. They just added another run, and they have 2nd and 3rd one out against the Reds in the top of the 8th inning. Top 4 in Chicago. A's lead the White Sox 1-0. You have the A's and the White Sox on. Does it look particularly chilly there again today? Is everybody walking around? And it's got to be
not really. It looks like it's about 50 or 45. But
actually, I got 66. 66 degrees I got in Chicago this afternoon.
And they all look like they're wearing jackets and hoodies and stuff. So it's not like, but it doesn't look 66 to me. Everyone's got a coat on. 66. You and I aren't wearing a coat at the Bronx at 66. Like today, it was 60 here. I was not wearing a coat.
No, did not. The one time I ran out, did not have the coat on. At that point. We'll talk about all the NBA, too, of course, as we have the Mavs.
Those games were hard.
They're awful. I mean, 75% of these NBA playoff games are bad. And I'll give you an update on the golf later, too. They're underway at Harbor Town Links in Hilton Head.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
fantasy baseball. Let's be honest, George. There's a lot of things antiquated about this game that we love. Man, like I would love to try some new little wrinkles here. And so for Sam's question here on the show, I think it's at least fair to ask the question, with catchers in fantasy baseball, and sometimes we're playing in 2 catcher leagues, why at this stage of the game? I have no idea. If you're still doing it, you're behind in the times. Buy or sell, catchers should get a fantasy point for throwing out runners trying to steal. So essentially awarding a defensive play to get an offensive point in fantasy. You're going to buy or sell this?
I mean, so this never even crossed my mind. I hate the catcher position because they get hurt so much. You play in a 2 catcher league, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like, what are we doing here? There are not 24, so we get 12-team league. There are not 24 catchers to draft in baseball. There's just not. Although I'm the first person to tell you, Herrera's probably out there in a bunch of leagues there because we didn't see that power coming. No. Should he get a point? I think if you're going to do this, by the way, why a point? What are you throwing out? 1, 2 base runners a week? It's 2 points. Who cares? You know, shouldn't it be more? I mean, if we're going to do this, should we do it right? Should it be 5 points? You know, so I would probably go that direction. If you're going to do it right. Give it more points. And by the way, then let's go further. You make an error, you're losing points. No one gets an error anymore. All right, if you get an error, it means you really screwed up. I was watching that Yankee-Pittsburgh game yesterday because I think it was who cares? Somebody hit the ball hard to Isaiah Felifa at shortstop. He didn't have to move, but he dropped it. They called it a hit because he hit the ball hard with 3 hopper. Oh, hard hit, error. So let's do that too. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but you need more than one. It can't just be a point that's meaningless. You need more than one.
Fantasy Sports Today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Only on SportsGrid.
You can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 Eastern on all of our TV and radio outlets. You catch Morency on Coast to Coast every day from Vancouver. Gabe, the Canadians got it done last night. They won, and now they face the Capitals. What did you think of their win over the Canes, who had dominated them forever, but not last night at the Bell Center?
I'll tell you what, it was quite the sweat job, actually, for the Montreal Canadiens and their fans. That was a 1-1 game. About midway through the second period of play, the Canadians finally broke through and then pulled away. Listen, it wasn't pretty, but they nailed down the final spot. They're going to be in tough against the Washington Capitals. Let's be real. As it is now, I think the Canadians can win 2 games in this series. So on the series handicap, I like the Montreal Canadiens plus 2.5. But I'm fired up for the start of the NHL playoffs, Scott. I'm fired up for the start of the NBA playoffs, too. But it's freaking ridiculous. Like, what are we doing? Like, what? Why are we? There's games tonight, bro. Like, why are they still playing? Like, you have teams playing like tonight, and you want them to play playoff games, you know, this weekend after. Like, what are we doing here? Like, the schedule. I've said it for years, guys. And the Brass Rail is a strip club in Toronto, and I've said for years, the NHL makes their schedule on the back of a napkin at the Brass Rail. Like, they've been doing this for years. Bro, they've got games starting at 11 o'clock Eastern, Scott. I don't mind for Sports Rage. It'll be cool for me. You're starting a game at 11 o'clock Eastern. Vegas and Minnesota, game 2. Will start at 11 o'clock. Like, it's all over the place, but it's ridiculous that they have the playoffs. They announce it like it's a secret rave, Scott. It's like the old days. You get it. Where's the party at? We're going to get a text message, or there's going to be a flyer that's given out an hour before to tell us which warehouse to go to. Like the NHL, they're announcing their playoff schedule last night when there was only one thing to be decided. Like the times of the game, Scott, nobody knows. Nobody knew in Toronto or Ottawa when they were playing until like late last night after the fact. And, you're going to play on Sunday. It's like they put it together on the fly, bro. But I'm fired up. Let's just do it. And as far as tonight, just quickly tonight in the NHL, you figure, listen, I'm gonna keep this one kind of simple, and it's not automatic. But let's play against the teams that are going to the playoffs with teams that aren't going to the playoffs. So, like, we have the Canes and the Senators tonight. They're both going to the playoffs. So it's sort of a wash, whatever. Neither, and Robertson got hurt for Dallas last night, guys. All right, so and he's like one of their best players. Like the Dallas Stars could be one of their best players because they got him freaking hurt in a meaningless game at the end of the year.
What a shame.
Lesson learned. Yeah, like he's good, Scott. Like, bro, the numbers swung big time. I was thinking I was already a toss-up. I wanted to lean Dallas, but they don't have Robertson. That's a big problem for them. Detroit against Toronto tonight, Scott. Good example. Red Wings not going to the playoffs. Leafs are. Give me the Red Wings plus the 140. Another instance like this. Calgary Flames and the LA Kings. LA Kings getting ready to play the Edmonton Oilers. They don't care about the Calgary Flame game tonight, bro. You'll have guys on the Flames playing for money, playing for heart, playing for pride, playing for their contracts. Give me the Flames plus 150. So that's sort of my approach tonight.
What about the
your
Rangers,
Penguins?
Tampa?
Your Penguins minus 110 on home ice. I don't bet a lot on the Penguins, Scott, but
the Penguins will still lose. They'll still lose. They're so awful. I don't even want to hear it. Right? I want to go through the Eastern Conference with you. And first of all, I think the latest games are starting at 10 East, not 11. I think the games are the latest ones are at 10 East. So
there's an 11 o'clock. There's an 11 o'clocker in Vegas. 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock Pacific.
8 Pacific, 11 East. Well, I thought you were talking about Vegas and the Wild in Minnesota. It starts at 10 East, which I think
in Vegas. In Vegas
is 9 East. All right. So anyway, let's go to these Eastern. Leafs and Senators, Lightning, Panthers, Caps, Montreal. You already called it. Caps win, and then Canes, Devils.
The Eastern Conference. I got a couple of parlays here. We'll go series by series here. In the Eastern Conference, the Senators and the Maple Leafs. The Senators have been a nice story. They're pretty beat up actually coming into the playoffs here. It's not ideal. Like if you're Toronto, it's sort of like you're Alabama, Scott, and you just got Auburn or something in a draw, right? And so there's a geographical hate. The Senators really do not like the Leafs. The fans, if the Senators can beat the Leafs, they won't care if they get swept in the next round. So it's one of those type of deals. But from a hockey standpoint, if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, you have to be happy that you didn't get Tampa, you didn't get Florida,
and you got
Boston. Boston didn't make it. Stylistically, hockey-wise, Toronto's going to win this series. So I like the Leafs to win the series, Scott. Minus 180. It was like minus 140, bro, when it opened. It's up to minus 180 right now. So I got the Leafs winning the series. I think that the Canes are going to make short work of the Devils. So I got the Canes at like 5, maybe 6. And the parlay I like the most here, parlay together the Vegas Golden Knights to beat the Minnesota Wild in the series and the Carolina Hurricanes to beat the New Jersey Devils in the series. Parlay together, Scott, is minus 114. As far as Florida and Tampa, man, that's good. I mean, and this is another thing. How stupid is the NHL that we have Tampa and Florida playing each other in the first round? We have Dallas and Colorado playing each other in the first round. It's a competitive imbalance. Like the playoff format sucks. It sucks pucks, and they got to change it, but they don't because the owners are cheap. The players want to change it. The fans want to change it. The only people that don't want to change it are the owners, Scott, because they like the geographical proximity. It saves them money. Point blank, right? You're playing division rivals in the playoffs. It's not a big travel. That's why they do it. It's not for this rivalry crap. It's because they want to save money, and it's frustrating. But give me the Tampa Bay Lightning, Scott, to knock off the defending Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. Give me the Lightning to win the series.
Wow. And so you're giving the Devils no chance, or you're giving them somewhat of a chance. You're saying they lose in 6. So they're going to be in the series.
I think they'll win 1 game, maybe 2 games. But I think the Carolina Hurricanes are flying under the radar, actually.
Nobody's going to get upset in the East. I don't even consider Tampa an upset of the Panthers. People would, but they're not the same team that they've been the last couple of years in the finals, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not so sure there's going to be an upset, Scott. We hit on the other side. Maybe the LA Kings over the Oilers.
Well, we'll talk about the Western Conference when we come back with Morency and see if he likes anything for Friday night in these last 2 play-in games.
fantasy baseball. Let's be honest, George. There's a lot of things antiquated about this game that we love. Man, like I would love to try some new little wrinkles here. And so for Sam's question here on the show, I think it's at least fair to ask the question with catchers in fantasy baseball. And sometimes we're playing in 2 catcher leagues. Why at this stage of the game? I have no idea. If you're still doing it, you're behind in the times. Buy or sell, catchers should get a fantasy point for throwing out runners trying to steal. So essentially awarding a defensive play to get an offensive point in fantasy. You gonna buy or sell this?
I mean, so this didn't even cross my mind. I hate the catcher position because they get hurt so much. You play in a 2 catcher league, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's like, what are we doing here? There are not 24, assuming a 12-team league, there are not 24 catchers to draft in baseball. It's just not. Although I'm the first person to tell you, Herrera's probably out there in a bunch of leagues there because we didn't see that power coming. Should he get a point? I think if you're going to do this, by the way, why a point? What are you throwing out? 1, 2 base runners a week? It's 2 points. Who cares? You know, should it be more? I mean, if we're going to do this, should we do it right? Should it be 5 points? You know, so I'd probably go that direction. If you're going to do it right. Give it more points. And by the way, then let's go further. You make an error, you're losing points. No one gets an error anymore. All right, if you get an error, it means you really screwed up. I was watching that Yankee-Pittsburgh game yesterday because I think it was who cares? Somebody hit the ball hard to Isaiah Felifa at shortstop. He didn't have to move, but he dropped it. They called it a hit because he hit the ball hard with 3-hopper. Oh, hard hit, error. So let's do that too. So yeah, I'm kind of on board with this, but you need more than one. It can't just be a point that's meaningless. You need more than one.
Fantasy Sports Today. Weekends starting at 8 a.m. Only on SportsGrid.
The Butler did it. He just hit a solo shot, a bomb to right field on the south side against the White Sox. A's up 2-0 there. We're talking to Morency, and now let's look at the Western Conference in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Jets, Blues, Stars, Avs, Vegas, Mini, and Kings, Oilers.
I'll say this quickly. As far as East Coast, West Coast, you know, the sports media as a whole, there is an East Coast bias, right? Most of the networks out in New York, there's only a few West Coast teams and all that. But I'm telling you, Scott, like the Eastern Conference is like JUCO stuff, bro, next to the Western Conference. Like now we're talking. Like, you know what I mean? We're talking about these Eastern Conference series. Like, yeah, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like Montreal and Washington, I think will be kind of entertaining. But you get into the West, and it's just next level. You got hitting, it's speed. The Western Conference is just better. And you look at the standings. It's like the NBA. I don't know what it is with the West being best right now, but there's, you know, like the Vancouver Canucks basically nearly would have made the playoffs if they, you know what I mean, if they were in the East. But it is what it is. So I'm just saying, you got some great teams, man, in the West. Colorado and Dallas, you know what I mean? What a great freaking series here. We just talked about Robertson being out. One thing with Dallas, guys, and I just saw a stat about them. Since the Four Nations face-off, they've given up, like, I think it's the second most goals in the league, 5-on-5. Since the Four Nations face-off, they're, like, amongst the top teams in the league in shots against, like, not in a good way. Like, the Dallas Stars are leaking a little bit down the stretch. And, you know, you see this with good teams. The Winnipeg Jets won the President's Cup, but they actually stumbled in the last month as well. The season's long. But I think Dallas, Scott, they might just be one of these regular season teams, man. Right? I always buy into Dallas every year all the time. And I swear to God, just like a week ago, I was thinking, man, I think it's going to be Dallas and Carolina in the Cup. It's kind of a weird cup, but I was like, I think it's going to be Dallas and Carolina. And
not now.
No, I'm having a hard time with Dallas now. So I'm leaning, I'm going to go Colorado here, Scott.
Yeah,
it's going to be Colorado to beat Dallas.
Dallas in that series.
Yeah, the Avs have their flaws too. The Avs are basically a one-line team. You could argue too, but they're not very deep, the Avs. You know what I mean? They got star players. You got Makar, you got McKinnon. They're good. They fly around and stuff. You know, the trade helped them, and it's ironic they're going to get Rantanen now going head-to-head. But Colorado are good, but I don't think they're going to the Cup, Scott, Colorado. But I got them beating Dallas now. St. Louis and Winnipeg, guys. We talk about the President's Cup curse. The President's Cup is the President's Trophy, President's Trophy is what they give if you have the best regular season record in the NHL. It's like a kiss of death. It's unlike like the NFL or like the NBA, you get the home court and all this. The NHL has been 11 years since the team has won the Cup that had the best regular season record. There's something to it. I don't know if you get worn out in the regular season. I don't know what it is. The Blues, Scott, bro, these guys were scorching, bro, since the Four Nations face-off.
Right.
We went into the Four Nations face-off thinking that Jordan Binnington was the weak link. He saved the day for Canada. And how about this, Scott? We have a rematch. Jordan Binnington versus Connor Hellebuck, USA. Right? They went head-to-head in the championship game. Now they go head-to-head again. Hellebuck's got a reputation of not getting it done in the playoffs, that he's more of a regular season warrior. The Jets have had a reputation of being regular season warriors. And
President's Cup's winners also choke.
So you asked, who's the live underdog? I'd say the St. Louis Blues, Scott. I'm not, I think this got 7 games written all over it. I could see this going to 7 and going to overtime. It's going to be close. They're going to be overtime games, 1-goal games. So, from a betting perspective, guys, you can justify the other prices. I don't think the Canes should be minus 300, but it is what it is. The Devils have injuries. But, Scott, from a betting perspective, I think, you're not stupid if you take the St. Louis Blues at plus 185, bro.
Yeah, I like their chances.
Now,
completely.
Like I said, it's Binnington has been fire, right? And the thing with Binnington is, guys, he's one of these players, he plays better in big games.
Big game.
You know what I mean? So in the playoffs, he's going to play better. He played better in the Four Nations. People are like, oh, he's not very good anymore. And John Cooper, the coach, said, don't worry, he's a big game guy. He'll be fine. This is why we trust him. So Binnington's going to bring it. I think Hellebuck will bring it as well.
Who do you like in the Vegas Mini and Kings Oilers?
I'll say Vegas in 5 or 6. And you know what? The Oilers could go to the Cup, guys, or they could lose in the first round. But they played the Kings 4 years in a row now. The Oilers are 3-0 against them. I say the LA Kings finally beat them, Scott. Give me the Kings.
Whoa, he's taking the Kings. Carver High also taking the Kings. All right, Morenzi, have a great show tonight, buddy.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Okay, what tools can you use to measure those things a bit? And that's where you have like force plates and 3D motion and launch monitors, things like that. But that's all just sort of like measuring what's happening. That doesn't necessarily explain why one guy's really good and another guy's not really good. And that's where there's still kind of like this ongoing, how do you like continue to do research to understand that better? And I think that's going to last well past my lifetime.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
I'm still optimistic eventually this will happen and they'll get it together. I mean, if Florida can get their act together, Sam, with the tribes, I believe that California can too.
It would bring a lot of money to the tribe, which is also something they really care about. It's an $8 billion market. Conservatively, it could be even more when it legalizes. The sports books would be sharing revenue with the tribes, essentially doing all their operations and forking over a percentage directly to the tribes.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
King of the featherweight division for the BKFC. That is King Kai Stewart, who is joining us now, still the champion of the featherweights.
Though he did get dominated, he was still throwing big shots. He landed a lot bigger shots on Palomino than he did me, and I wasn't really impressed. Palomino's getting older. He is definitely a former GOAT. He has done amazing things in this sport, but it's just my time.
Only on SportsGrid.
leaderboard at Hilton Head at Harbortown in that first round. Look at these heavyweights on the board.
Yeah, it is, of course, a signature event this week down at Harbortown, and a course record tying 61 from Justin Thomas this morning. 10 under 61 for him. Ties the course record. He is in the lead, 3 shots over Russell Henley and Scotty Scheffler, who both shot 7 under earlier this morning. Wyndham Clark is 6 under, and he still has a couple holes to go. Campbell Soup is there. Have a few other guys that are in the mix as well. Fitzpatrick, Spawn, Woodland, Harmon, etc. For us as the afternoon guys are out now. Only a few guys in it. There's only 72 golfers. So we'll see if anybody can. But nobody's going to touch Thomas. That's a nice first-round leader. Believe he was 23-1, Justin Thomas for first-round leader. A quick baseball update. You mentioned the grand slam from Fraley that gave him the lead. Top of the 9th in Cincinnati, and Cal Raleigh just deposited one in the seats in right. Rang the bell for us last night. Now he goes and hits one here. 7-6, one-run game. See if the Mariners can tie things up and move things on with the Reds this afternoon. And elsewhere, you mentioned the Butler. He did homer for the A's, 2-0, and the Diamondbacks have finished off.
And the A's just hit another 2-run bomb.
Who was it? Was it Soderstrom? Your boy? No,
I think it was Bleday.
Wow, how about that? And the Mariners have now tied it. Randy Arozarena back-to-back with Cal Raleigh. Pharrell Arena makes it 7-7. The good news for me is that I've got Ellie De La Cruz the homer today, and now he gets to lead off in the bottom of the 9th. So hopefully he can hit a walk-off homer for us, and we can ring the bell with him. All right, so 4-0 A's after J.J. Bleday goes yard as well. So we'll keep our eyes on all of the baseball that we have going on. All right, NBA, as we are almost through all these play-in games, and then we can get to Saturday, and hopefully, I'll just say this right out of the jump because I know you did too. Hopefully the games will get better when you get to like the actual teams on Saturday and Sunday, because those games last night, they were a very tough watch. The Mavs did beat the Kings 120-106. Big night for Klay Thompson. Remember last year, he went down 0 for 10 from 3 in that Warriors loss to the Kings in the play-in game. Well, he sure made up for it tonight. 23 points on 5 threes in Sacramento. He was going off in the second quarter on ESPN.
Here's Thompson looking for his first points. Lets it fly. Around and down. Finally, Klay Thompson makes a basket. He came over in the De'Aaron Fox trade in early February. Thompson starting to catch fire, perhaps. Back-to-back threes.
Their game plan offensively, they're taking care of the basketball. They're making the Kings play in traffic.
And Klay Thompson has the hot hand.
Yeah, look, I mean, they had Williams off the bench, gave him 17. Exum gave him 11. AD gave him 27, 9 and 1. Washington gave him 17, 9 and 4. So they had multiple guys producing. And we said before the game on yesterday's show, if AD and Thompson play well, they can beat whoever. They can win that game, and they did. And not only that, I thought the Kings looked absolutely awful. Just flat out awful. To the point where they fired their GM. They fired their GM after the game. And that's the way you should do it. Like, they're always a disappointment, right? Like, when aren't they a failure? Let's just get real here. Like, they have been, it's just a constant failings up there in Sacramento with that NBA franchise. Am I wrong? And now they're going to let Scott Perry run the team is what I'm hearing. The guy from the Knicks. That's their answer to their problems. And Carver High's laughing because that's how funny it is. I mean, honestly. But look, they looked good last night. AD did whatever he wanted. Klay was shooting the ball well. I still stand by what I said yesterday and prior to that even. I don't believe for 1 minute Thompson's happy there. I think he made a mistake. He should have gone to the Lakers like his dad. And he'd be playing with Luka and LeBron right now and Reeves. And I think he'd be a big piece on that Laker team, knocking down threes. And they would leave him wide open because you got to worry about LeBron James and Luka Doncic. That guy Thompson scored 30 a game with the Lakers. With the Dallas Mavs, he's going down. They're not winning anything. I know they think they are, and they might very well win Friday night, but I don't think they're doing anything but win a series maybe at best, and then they're going down. They're not winning anything, that team. And he's going to be miserable there without Luka Doncic. Believe me, he went there to play with Luka and Kyrie Irving. That's why he went there.
That is why he went there. No question about that. Yeah, the Perry stuff's weird because, like, you know, he was with the Knicks and, like, he never, like, they called him the GM, but he never, like, really was the GM. Like, wasn't he there, like, when Phil was there? And then he was there with, like, Steve Mills and, like, all these guys with the Knicks. And Perry
he never
was
did
kinda,
anything in New York.
He never really did anything there.
Then again, no one ever does. It's not just him. Listen,
no one
you
ever
can
does.
say all you want about the Knicks. Around here, everybody's clouded, including myself. Like, I like the Knicks. And I've watched the Knicks. I've been here 30 years watching them lose. So they're going to lose again because they got, like, 5 players. I mean, they really do have a starting 5, and then everything else is a coin toss, up in the air. Honestly, you can't trust the rest of that team. They never won one game this year, not one against a good team. Not one. They went 0-10 against good teams. They only beat bad teams. They're going to have their hands full with the Pistons. But that front office and Rose and all these guys, they're no different than Perry. They got these, you know, gigantic reputations of success that are undeserving. Those guys that run the Knicks do nothing differently than the past regimes or since 1970, it's been the same thing over and over again. Over and over. Even Isaiah Thomas, bad news with that guy. He was another one chasing skirts around the office. Like, don't get me started on that. They've had nothing but disasters in their front office. Perry's just one of many.
And they got a disaster on the Rangers side this morning, too, at Madison Square Garden. With what's with the Panarin stuff,
settling lawsuits of him. You know, the bread man was allegedly chasing tail in the office, and don't tell me he didn't do it when he paid her off.
Paid her off. I certainly did. And by the way, they mutually agreed to part ways. The Kings and Monty McNair. There was a mutual parting of ways between them.
No, they didn't.
It was
that's a nice way of saying you're fired. Mutually agreed to of anything. That's like saying it was an amicable divorce. No, it wasn't. They hate each other.
It was so mutual that they had his replacement 12 hours later. It was so mutual that they had someone else in the door.
And they've been working on that for 2 weeks.
They've been working on that for 2 weeks. There you go. I do have Jason Kidd for you. Let's we can quickly we'll play Kidd after. We only got a minute left. Ellie's up now in the bottom of the 9th, Scotty, for the Reds.
Whoa.
Can this guy and they just punched him out. The ball was at his shoes. Is this umpire serious?
Sky, are you kidding me?
Goodness. I mean, the ball was at his shoes and he called it strike 3.
So we might as well squeeze it in. I almost had my first trip dub last night, Carver High. 14, 10, and 8. I was 2 dimes shy of a triple-double. 7 for 10 from the floor. Getting involved at the 10. 14,
Not
10,
bad.
and 8 in a 25-point win.
How about that?
How you like them apples? 59 years old. Almost had a trip dub like your boy the Joker.
Getting involved late night at the Run.
Get the big fella the pill and he'll dish. I was dishing last night. I looked like white chocolate passing to guys cutting.
We will we'll come back. We'll play Kidd real fast. Then we'll talk about the other blowout last night.
That was even worse.
Beating up the Bulls.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Okay, what tools can you use to measure those things a bit? And that's where you have like force plates and 3D motion and launch monitors, things like that. But that's all just sort of like measuring what's happening. That doesn't necessarily explain why one guy's really good and another guy's not really good. And that's where there's still kind of like this ongoing, how do you like continue to do research to understand that better? And I think that's going to last well past my lifetime.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
I'm still optimistic eventually this will happen and they'll get it together. I mean, if Florida can get their act together, Sam, with the tribes, I believe that California can too.
It would bring a lot of money to the tribe, which is also something they really care about. It's an $8 billion market. Conservatively, it could be even more when it legalizes. The sports books would be sharing revenue with the tribes, essentially doing all their operations and forking over a percentage directly to the tribes.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
King of the featherweight division for the BKFC, that is King Kai Stewart, who is joining us now, still the champion of the featherweights.
Though he did get dominated, he was still throwing big shots. He landed a lot bigger shots on Palomino than he did me, and I wasn't really impressed. Palomino's getting older. He is definitely a former GOAT. He has done amazing things in this sport, but it's just my time.
Only on SportsGrid.
You promised some J-Kid talking about Clay's big night.
Yes, very excited about Klay Thompson. This is why we brought him here.
You know, I think the big thing is, he's a champion. We talked about it before. To try to get him some shots early. I thought he had great looks that didn't go down. But he continued to keep playing and continue to make plays for others. And when you do that, good things happen. And I thought him being able to go in that second quarter with AD setting screens and our guards being able to find him, he had great rhythm looks, and he helped build that lead. But he's a pro. As I said before the game, we believe that he's going to make the shots tonight, and he did.
I will never in my life figure out how he didn't go to the Lakers. Seriously. If he were playing on that team right now, do you understand? Like, it's the same thing as when I play. No one guards me. I'm some old man, and they don't worry about me as I'm torching them for one finger roll layup after the next. This guy would not even be guarded in Los Angeles with the guys that they have on that team. He'd be standing in the corner like he was Fats Domino playing pool. Corner daggers. I mean, just absolutely, he would just be torching it. And he can flat out shoot. I don't care about anything else. I never thought he got his wheels back after the Achilles and the knee. So I just need him to shoot. Screen for him and shoot. That's it. And I mean, to tell you, they would just be blowing teams out if they had him on that team. Because I don't think they do. I think they have Luka, LeBron, and Reeves. That's it. I know all these people brag about Hachimura, my ass. Honestly, yeah, he can have a 20-point game, whatever. Guys, anymore, guys have a 20-point game at yawn. They yawn. They only talk about you now if you're 35 or above. I mean, honestly.
That's what he would have been a better spot for him. If he just went there, stood out on the side, waited for LeBron to kick passes out to him, just make threes. It's a nice life you could have lived. In the first game last night in the Eastern Conference, also, blowout city. Heat beat the Bulls 109-90. Big night for Tyler Hero, 38 points, leading the Heat. hitting threes from everywhere on ESPN.
Buzelis, the rookie for the Bulls out there. Hero, step back three-pointer's good. Tyler Hero is 6 for 6 from the field. He's got 14 contributing offensively for Miami, led by this guy. Hero, step back, gets a good look. Three-pointer, got it. Tyler Hero is 8 for 8 from the field. He's got 23 points.
I mean, he can flat out shoot. There's no doubt about it. Hero sandwich getting involved. That game was 71-47 at the half. You talk about game over. My game was better. Like, I was at my game, and this guy on the sideline yelled out the score, and I almost fell over. I was playing, and the guy yelled out the Bulls score, and I almost fell down on the floor. 71-47 at the half. You talk about lights out. I mean, that was the worst game I think maybe that's ever been played. That was a playoff game last night. How many people stayed on that game? 2?
I can't imagine many. It's the 3rd consecutive year that the Heat knocked the Bulls out in the play-in tournament. 3rd straight year that they sent them home in this spot. Like, it's so weird, too. Like, it is what it is. Like, the Bulls seem to be the team that over the last 6 weeks was playing the best. And then last night they looked like the team we saw the first 4.5 months of the season. Like, they just looked awful, pathetic. And maybe they do make a change. I don't know. They owe Billy a lot of money. I don't know if it's time, but maybe they should make some kind of a change in Chicago. They got some young guys playing well. Maybe switch some things up.
They just put the guy in the Basketball Hall of Fame, and then they're going to fire him. It happens all the time. Guys coach it a year, and then the next year they get fired.
He's not in the Basketball Hall of Fame for his NBA record. He's in the Basketball Hall of Fame for what he did in college. All right, he certainly has not achieved anything in the NBA to get himself into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
He's a 50% coach.
Could thank the Gators for getting him in there.
50%. That's it. He'll never be better than he wins half the games at best.
Here's Eric Spoelstra after the game. Let's just say that he really didn't want to give up too much information.
Thoughts and maybe a little bit of what you shared with the team.
None of your business. Unfortunately, I think there's a camera in there. He'll probably.
What?
It was a quick message. We're only halfway there. We didn't have the luxury.
What do you got? Secrets or something with your crappy team?
Having the one game and then you're automatically in. So, guys feel great about this win. Really put a lot into this. This is not something that could just happen overnight. We feel like there's been some good things happening the last several weeks, and this is the first time we've been mostly whole. In a while, where guys feel good.
Yeah, because they all felt so miserable with that lymphoma all over their franchise. I mean, every guy on the team got a taste of that guy's cancer. Honestly, I still can't even believe they're alive, to be honest with you. I can't believe they're alive. Now, I'm guessing, as crappy as the Hawks looked the other night, I mean, they looked just horrible. They were so awful the other night. Can't Miami go in there and beat them?
Well, I'm going to give you this after the break, but the books certainly think they do. I believe Miami's a small favorite in Atlanta tomorrow night to beat the Hawks off of that performance last night. So, Miami, they usually get out of these spots, right? I just told you the last 3 years, they've been winning in the play-in tournament, and they find themselves in, and they usually take care of business. Seattle has pushed one across here, Scotty. They now are up 8-7 on the Reds, top of the 10th. They still have first and third with one out as they are trying to extend here and try to add on before the Reds hit in the bottom half. We'll come back, and I will give you the numbers for both games tomorrow night. Miami in Atlanta, Dallas in Memphis against the Grizz after their win in Sacramento.
Want to play roulette? Here's a tip. European roulette has a lower house edge than American style. The lower the house edge, the better shot you have at winning. Most online casinos offer European roulette. So, if I were you, I'd get spinning. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Okay, what tools can you use to measure those things a bit? And that's where you have like force plates and 3D motion and launch monitors, things like that. But that's all just sort of like measuring what's happening. That doesn't necessarily explain why one guy's really good and another guy's not really good. And that's where there's still kind of like this ongoing, how do you like continue to do research to understand that better? And I think that's going to last well past my lifetime.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
I'm still optimistic eventually this will happen and they'll get it together. I mean, if Florida can get their act together, Sam, with the tribes, I believe that California can too.
It would bring a lot of money to the tribe, which is also something they really care about. It's an $8 billion market. Conservatively, it could be even more when it legalizes. The sports books would be sharing revenue with the tribes, essentially doing all their operations and forking over a percentage directly to the tribes.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
King of the featherweight division for the BKFC. That is King Ty Stewart, who is joining us now, still the champion of the featherweight.
Though he did get dominated, he was still throwing big shots. He landed a lot bigger shots on Palomino than he did me, and I wasn't really impressed. Palomino's getting older. He is definitely a former GOAT. He has done amazing things in this sport, but it's just my time.
Only on SportsGrid.
All right, so these games tomorrow night, right? Like, I just saw the spread, and I know you're going to give them to me, but I just saw it, and I almost fell over. That Dallas game, you got to be kidding me. They're giving them 6.5?
Yeah, they are giving him 6.5. We'll
take it.
That's the second game. Let me give you the first game first. Miami minus 1.5 in Atlanta against the Hawks. Of course, the winner will face Cleveland in the first round, with game one starting on Sunday. The total here is 218.5.
I guess my just initial thought is the Heat. That's my initial thought today. I'm going to go, obviously tomorrow that might change, but right now I'd say the Heat. I like, what I saw, and I did not like what I saw when I watched the Hawks. I thought they looked horrible. I thought Trey looked horrible. I doubt he'll look horrible again, back-to-back big games. He's a big game player. He likes to show off. So I doubt he's going to have another bad game. I thought he had a bad game. He got thrown out of the game. So I'll take Miami initially here. And then in that second game, there is no way, in my view, because I think Memphis is going to win that game at the FedEx, but they're not covering that big fat chunk. Not against this team. Anthony Davis and Thompson alone with Washington, and we talked about all these guys that produce for them, and if they're all producing again, they'll cover that number. In fact, they might win. Dallas can win that game. You cannot give them 6.5 points. I don't think. I really don't. Now I think Bane's gonna have a game, and I think Jackson will have a game, and Ja will have I think a decent game. I don't think he's going to have a go-off game because he's injured. He's injured. And if he's at 70%, he's not. I don't think he has 35 points. I think he's going to be in the low 20s. That's my guess with an injury because Dallas is going to show up for that game, and they're very big and physical. Let's face facts. Even Clay's big. Okay, I think they're long and strong. They're a very big team. These guys, PJ Washington and them, they can bang. Gabbard, they bang. So I think it's too many points, Mike.
I kind of think it's too many points as well. 6.5 is a little too juicy. The total's 221.5. If I can get what I got last night from Clay and AD, which was Clay hitting some threes and AD being a force down low, then you're right. That they might win the game outright if they can get the same kind of performance from AD and Clay. And we thought this was possible the last few weeks if Dallas came into these games a little healthier than they had been since the Luka trade.
If they had
that
Kyrie,
they could beat
they'd
any
win
of
the
these.
game. They'd be favored by 6.5.
And look, Memphis still, they've been reeling. They've still been reeling. And Ja is compromised. He's not going to be 100% in this game. I think 6.5 is way too much. Same as you as we get going. Winner, of course, of that will play the Thunder in the first round, and that game one will be Sunday.
A lot of people think they're going to lose, and that's not happening.
That who's going to lose? The Thunder?
Everyone thinks. I've been hearing from all of these geniuses. Everyone's so clever. There's so many smart people out there that know it all. And it's beyond me to even try to go into their realm of their genius. But I've been hearing left and right that Cleveland and the Thunder have no chance at all in the playoffs. No chance.
Overall.
I guarantee you the Thunder, overall, my ass, okay? Know this. Whoever plays the Thunder there is going to get their ass beat.
Yeah, look, I think that saying that they have no chance is ridiculous. Now, I think that whoever these two teams that win these games tomorrow night, they have no chance in the first round against the Cavs and the Thunder. They got no chance. Now, when you're talking about big picture NBA Finals, I think the Thunder and Cavs both absolutely have a chance to be there. They're the number one seeds in each side. They both won 60-plus games this year. They both absolutely can get all the way to the end.
They're both very good.
I think Thunder a little bit more than the Cavs. That's just me. I'm not saying the Cavs can't get there, but I think the Thunder are better than the Cavs, and that's how it's going to go down.
I think the Celtics could beat the Cavs, but all these teams that think they're just going to walk through Oak City, you're tripping.
Not happening. Not happening at all. All right, I got a couple other playoff things for you when we come back.
Here's a tip for my fellow golfers and gamers. Do you want to book a golf trip to Vegas? For the best weather, aim for spring and fall. But the best prices, aim for summer and winter. But if you're looking for that sweet spot, try June. You get the August prices without that scorching heat. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
We know what Chris Sale can bring. I was personally high on Schwallenbach. Smith-Shawver, their other starter, looks okay to kind of bad. They need to I don't want to say tread water, so I think that puts it in a bad light, but that's what they ultimately need to do. They need to tread water until Strider gets back, until Acuna gets back, and maybe it's just part of the team morale mentality that we're not at full strength, need to kick things into gear once those guys get here.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm still optimistic eventually this will happen and they'll get it together. I mean, if Florida can get their act together, Sam, with the Tribes, I believe that California can too.
It would bring a lot of money to the Tribes, which is also something they really care about. It's an $8 billion market. Conservatively, it could be even more when it legalizes. The sports books would be sharing revenue with the Tribes, essentially doing all their operations and forking over a percentage directly to the Tribes.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
King of the featherweight division for the BKFC, that is King Kai Stewart, who is joining us now, still the champion of the featherweight.
Though he did get dominated, he was still throwing big shots. He landed a lot bigger shots on Palomino than he did me, and I wasn't really impressed. Palomino's getting older. He is definitely a former GOAT. He has done amazing things in this sport, but it's just my time.
Only on SportsGrid.